All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today, Practical Tech Solutions for African Nonprofits, proudly brought to you by Sibasi, Foresight Dynamics Africa, and Microsoft. My name is Edwin Moreau, and I'm the Microsoft Solutions lead here at Sebasi. I'll be your host today as we explore how technology can help nonprofits across Africa work smarter, scale faster, and deliver great impact. So this event is all about practical, scalable, and secure tech solutions tailored for the unique needs of NGOs. Whether you're working in education, health, advocacy, community development, today's sessions are designed with you in mind. So what we're going to be looking at today, even as you come in, the first is going to be welcome and note introductions, just setting the stage for today's conversation, right? And then after that, we're going to be looking at why tech matters now. So exploring the urgency and opportunity of digital transformation for NGOs, right? Then after that, we're going to be looking at AI business applications for everyday NGO work. So basically looking at practical ways AI can simplify and enhance your operations. Right after that, we want to be looking at Azure and Fabric. How do we turn impact data into insights? How do we use cloud and analytic tools to make data-driven decisions? Then we're going to wrap that up with practical security best practices for NGOs, actionable strategies to protect your organizations and your beneficiaries as well. After that, we're going to open up the floor, a chance to engage with our experts, right? Have a live Q&A so you can have your questions on, and then we'll wrap it up by some key takeaways and then look at how to keep the momentum going. Yeah, so you're very much welcome, even as you come in. We have some housekeeping rules before we begin. If you have any questions, comments during the presentations, please feel free to share them in the chat. We'll do our best to respond to them during the sessions and also address them in the Q&A segment at the end. So this would help us just to stay on track with time while making sure that your voice is heard. So without further ado, let's kick it in. For first, to officially open our event up will be Salome Gore, who is our Microsoft Sure Step Ambassador at Foresight. Salome is passionate about helping NGOs unlock the power of technology, and she will set the tone for today's conversation. So, Salome, have the floor today.
Thank you so much, Edwin. I appreciate that. Let me quickly share my screen with you guys. I'm going to do a quick presentation and just address a few basic questions, I think, around NPOs purchasing through a CSP indirect reseller such as Sibasi and just the licensing benefits within. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Going to just share my screen here quickly with you guys. All right. So, good morning, everyone. As Edwin has already presented, my name is Salome Gawa, and I'm the Microsoft Sure Step Ambassador focused on charities and K-12 education, representing Foresight Dynamics Africa, a Microsoft indirect provider. At Foresight, we work alongside CSP indirect resellers like Sibasi Limited to ensure that nonprofits and schools don't just get licenses, but the right solutions at the right value, tailored to their needs. So let me walk you through Microsoft's Elevate program and highlight some of the licensing benefits. Microsoft Elevate brings philanthropy, nonprofit, and licensing and education initiatives together into one program. So over the next 5 years, Microsoft has committed $4 billion globally. Through Elevate Academy, the goal is to help 20 million people achieve AI skills credentials by 2027. Elevate is designed to deliver scalable and sustainable impact for nonprofits and schools. One of the biggest advantages of Elevate is in licensing. When you purchase through a Microsoft partner, such as Sibasi, eligible nonprofits and schools can access Microsoft Cloud solutions at up to 75% discounted rates. And here's the key benefit. Nonprofits can also receive 300 Microsoft 365 Business Basic licenses at zero cost. This means you can empower staff or volunteers with enterprise-grade tools while still keeping costs predictable and affordable. In education, Microsoft uses the 140 licensing ratio. So for every paid for faculty license, up to 40 student licenses are included at no extra cost. That makes licensing extremely cost-effective for schools, especially with discounted Microsoft 365 A3 and A5 for education plans. We're also investing into initiatives like Hour of AI with code.org, plus 20 million in optimization services, ensuring schools are equipped for safe AI-driven learning. And to close off my side, Elevate is not just about technology, it's about combining grants, licensing, and skilling to deliver through the partner ecosystem to create real and lasting change. Working with a Microsoft partner like Sibasi Limited ensures these solutions aren't just accessible, but practical, affordable, and tailored to your sector. I will now hand back to Edwin to take us further into the presentation. Thank you so much.
Wow, thanks, Salome. That is what we call short and sweet in terms of what NGOs will be able to benefit from Microsoft doing great stuff, and especially from the point of affordability. A lot of stuff is there that NGOs can benefit from, right? And yeah, next we are honored to hear from Mr. Amos Oshanga, who is the CEO at Sibasi and is a visionary leader in the tech innovation space. And he will walk us through why technology is not just relevant, but essential for NGOs in today's world. Welcome, Amos.
Thanks so much, Edwin, and pleasure to connect with everybody today. I know we've had a number of engagements earlier with a number of partners and clients. And today we are very excited about this webinar and just getting to talk about, how you get to be mission driven, driving impact, efficiency and scale. As Edwin has mentioned, my name is Amos. I'm the CEO at Sibasi, and very excited to, talk about, why you should consider tech and why you should consider, implementing some of the various solutions that are available in the ecosystem. Just to kick off, I think I was looking at some of the reports, and Microsoft did a study on Work Trends Index, and one of the things that was critical and one of the things that was observed was that most organizations struggle to find information, and besides finding the information, then at the end of the day, when the teams work in the day-to-day achievement of your core mission, then you lack the energy because at times you're trying to get some reports out, you're trying to get some information to a particular donor or a partner, and finding all the information across the various teams becomes a bit of a challenge. And of course, there is also the other aspect of some of the processes that you have becoming a hindrance in terms of how you deliver on your core mission. And with the AI and everything that has been happening, I think in the recent age, then we say that this is your moment. And what we mean by being your moment is that you get to lead you through AI-powered digital transformation to help you in some of the core areas, whether it is your operational efficiency, or we are looking at, outreach and engagement, or the other aspect of, creating data-driven insights, whether it is to, provide nice stories about what impact delivering, in the various communities that you're working with. But all of this, is very important to keep in mind that the security, compliance, and governance becomes a core part of how, you deliver on the core mission. So today I'd want to really focus on a couple of areas and the core areas that I believe that in the nonprofit space, we should be looking at. So the first one being on the operational efficiency, whether you have approvals automation for your field staff, whether it is field data collection, or you want to even handle the filing of the documents so that you are able to, quickly reference and get reports so that, at times when you're engaging with partners, you're engaging with donors, and you might need to actually share some of the reports, quickly, then operational efficiency becomes one of the core areas that you might want to focus on, especially within the tech space. The second area that I'd want to highlight on is on how you handle outreach and engagement. And what we say is that, in this day and age, if you're not already doing, data collection and being able to create, impactful reports and stories, then you may want to consider, the tech, the automations that are possible, and especially because, in the various programs that you're probably implementing in the various communities that you're engaging with, then you need to be able to collect all the information so that you can have a better outreach to your beneficiaries and the teams that you work with in the field, but also with the partners and donors that you are engaging with. And of course, the other key aspect is that, with GDPR and you're collecting this sensitive information, then security becomes a core part of what you may need to consider in terms of your organization. And I think one of the key questions that we keep when engaging with various clients that we have in the nonprofit space, one of the key things that we ask is whether you are registered, for data protection, and we can assist, in some of these particular aspects. And I know some of the other presentations that are coming will probably go deeper into, how do you get to use the various tools that are already available and Microsoft provide in terms of the benefits to the nonprofit space. Now, to introduce us, we are Sibasi, and we say that we are driven by a core mission, which is embedded in the heart of our name, basically to provide services and solutions invested and integrated into your business for you to achieve success and have an impact. And we have these 5 core values that help us operate and help us in terms of our engagement. Making sure that we deliver excellence. We when you're engaging with us, we are professional. We collaborate with you and in our partnership, and we keep looking at the latest ways in terms of how we get to innovate, and we have fun in terms of the results that we get to bring. And you'll hear us talking about certain solutions that you might want to consider. One being in the core development space, whether you want to create solutions that are going to help you, engage with the various communities that you engage with, or you're looking at, business process automation, you want to talk about robotics, AI, productivity, data analytics, and so forth. That's one of the other core areas that we could assist you with. And whether it is, in setting up your IT strategy and roadmap, or giving you a security assessment, or you have, systems that you have locally, but you'd want to go with the latest ways, going to the cloud, or you need training in terms of how to maximize the various services that are available, then we are your partner, and we would want to assist, in making sure that you can maximize on these benefits. Some of the core solutions that you'll see that we've already, implemented and are available on the Microsoft AppSource, site would be, a solution that would help your board, manage your board, or a solution that would help even in expense and impress processing, or whether it is your document management, whether it's your proposals and all these various things, or you might also want to consider approval workflows. And if you go to sibasi.ciba.c/appsource, you'll see more about some of these various solutions that we have provided. Now, the good thing about the Microsoft stack is that it provides a power platform where we can be able to extend. And I know the next speaker will go into a bit more details about, what do you get with this power platform. But basically, we can be able to extend and provide solutions that meet your particular workflows or business processes as per your core needs or how you operate. And the best part about all of this is that, with the various clients that we've engaged with, whether it is Africa Public Health Foundation, who use Microsoft Dynamics dynamics for the core finance management with the custom employees service portal, as well as using SharePoint that comes as part of the Microsoft ecosystem, Microsoft 365 for intranet and document management, or with the Kenya Hemophilia Association, who have a solution that helps connect various hospitals in terms of collecting field data collection and being able to synchronize information across various hospitals so that they can serve better the various beneficiaries for the Kenya Hemophilia Association, or even if you're talking about the Kenya Wildlife Conservancies Association that initially just migrated to Microsoft 365 to get the reliability for email and calendar and all these very many tools that you get within the Microsoft Office 365 ecosystem. But beyond that, we're using Power BI to create insightful data and great storytelling so that they are able to communicate this with all the various partners and the conservancies that they work with, as well as the government and even with the donors that they come at play. So these 3 case studies, just highlight the capabilities that you get within the Microsoft ecosystem that provides a whole wide range of things that we could be able to implement and work together to help you maximize on this. What would be next? Once we complete this webinar, one of the key things that you could start off with is identify, immediate needs that you may be having. What are your core pain points? Check out the Microsoft NPO offers. If you go to ciba.c/NPO, to redirect you to the particular site, and you'll get to see some of the benefits. Or you can connect with us directly, and we are happy to engage. In fact, this week we are celebrating our 8th year anniversary of driving innovation and impact, and all the various teams that we've managed to support and encourage in terms of getting huge success and impact. And we are happy to extend, there is a lot of ongoing internal and engagements that you're having with our clients, as well as, there is a lot of discounts and things that we want to assist, including other webinars that we'll be doing to help you maximize on the benefits that you get within the Microsoft ecosystem. Celebrate with us if you can. Reach out to us. We're happy to share a cake or talk about what we can be able to provide for you, and we are happy to continue engaging to help you maximize on what benefits that you get from the ecosystem. Thank you so much, and handing over back to you, Edwin, to look at the next part.
Wow. Thank you so much, Amos, for that insightful presentation. Definitely looking at how NPOs can be operationally efficient, and looking at how they can be able to make data-driven decisions. And while doing all that, they are secure, right? So I think kudos on that. And did I hear you promise cake? Yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
yes. Reach out to us, and we are happy to share cake.
All right. Okay. Right. Now on to our next presenter. I don't know if we can get that on the screen. Yeah.
All good?
All good. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me just do the introductions. Right. This is going to be on AI, business applications for everyday NGO work. And we have the one and only Msangi Masera, who is a Microsoft SureStep ambassador at Foresight, as well as an MVP. I'm going to put in a plug to your channel, Tekna Msangi. Yeah. So he's been doing some great and amazing work on that particular platform. And Msangi will just showcase to us how AI can simplify everyday tasks, improve efficiency, and help NGOs do more with less. Karibu sana Msangi.
Thank you very much, Edwin, for that great introduction. And thank you, Amos, for showcasing how leaders can leverage AI in their operations. And we are looking at AI business solutions for everyday work. So Microsoft recently named all these business applications like Business Central, F&O to AI business solutions. So why are we speaking about AI business solutions for your everyday work? It's because we do have a problem that we need to solve, and this problem is disconnected systems. Many many small systems that work for your organizations that don't have a common background, or they don't have real-time insights. For example, when you started, you procured an accounting system with a very good user interface, you love it, but only maybe the accountant and the account assistant has access to it. And you do have also maybe a donor management system. You really love it because it's really customized. You found that particular vendor who gave you this system that has, you even customized how that email will be sent to the donor. There is a way that you love it. You crafted it for 5 years. You love it and you're connected to it. You have a fleet management system because you're growing. You have maybe different vehicles to take the donors to different areas, or the what do we call the volunteers to different areas, and you're still attached to this particular system, another grant management system. You onboard a HR, and now you're like, now we need someone to manage the operations or to manage our staff, and then you have another system as a HR system which is disconnected. Just picture this: when you have these several systems, most of the time, even the reporting is different. The templates that come out of those systems that have been customized will be different. And you could also be having an Excel seated somewhere that is also another mini system that stores some information that you really love it. You're connected to it. But disparate systems or disconnected systems cause inefficiencies and errors because there is no visibility in such a scenario, and there's a high administrative overhead because when you need to get your reporting, you need now to communicate to different people. You're like, okay, can you get me that Excel file so that I connect it to maybe this donor management system? And scaling it is difficult. You can't easily scale what you can't see because every other system is disconnected. And why is it important to think about your current setup? It's because a disconnection doesn't give you reporting and business insights. And we are not only proposing the Microsoft ecosystem because it's a buzzword or because we love it so much, but it's because of the connection. And when you look at Dynamics 365 Business Central with over 45,000 small and medium businesses on the cloud, named the best ERP of 2024 by Forbes Advisor, this is a system that will connect all these systems from your finance, sales, service, operations, teams, and all the other modules that you need, including HR. So if you need an extra system, the prerequisite should be its ability to connect seamlessly into the Microsoft ecosystems, which Amos mentioned. It's extensible. So you're not worried about having different systems and insights not correctly reporting, but you're now having one system that is working for you. And on top of that, all these modules, we are looking at Business Central as a case study out of the big Microsoft ecosystem with AI business applications, because if we are to look at all the applications that are available in the Microsoft ecosystem, definitely we will not be having all the systems. Just a moment. Okay, so we will not be having all the systems connected together, and that's why we have now, from the main modules, now we can have the mini sub-modules for each particular operation. All right, now, moving forward now, in Dynamics 365 Business Central or in AI business applications, which work seamlessly with applications that you use on a day-to-day basis. And here, we are speaking about Microsoft 365. Just picture this. So this is an application, or every application in the Microsoft ecosystem seamlessly integrates with your applications that you use on a day-to-day basis. That is Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Outlook, and Copilot, all integrated with AI. So these are, so when you're moving out of the disparate systems, and let's take an example of Business Central, you can export your data to Excel real quick, and you're able to analyze from Excel. You can still analyze from Dynamics 365 Business Central itself, but you are able to analyze, or you're able to do your analysis with Microsoft Excel. Okay, and definitely now we're looking at Copilot is fully integrated with all these applications. You may be wondering now, okay, why are we speaking about AI over and over again? Because it's not just a buzzword where now, for example, there is several robotics or automotive vehicles that are using artificial intelligence to automate them in their industries and make sure that it works well. But now with artificial intelligence coming into play, you are now leveraging AI in your operations. And by plugging into the Microsoft ecosystem, you don't need any extra integration for you to leverage AI. So let's just take a look at a normal operation and how it can be automated with AI.
Sunday, do we have audio?
Can you get audio?
No. Yeah, just please share with audio.
Okay, let me reshare again so that we have the audio. Just a moment.
Today, we're going to explore how some of Microsoft's latest AI offerings can support your nonprofit organization. Specifically, we'll dive into how Microsoft 365 Copilot can help you improve team productivity across your organization. Here's a process you may be all too familiar with: preparing for your annual board meeting and budget review. It's all hands on deck, and every department in your organization needs to contribute. Today, we'll look at how the Executive Director's Assistant at Contoso, a non-profit organization, uses Copilot to organize the non-profit leadership team. Microsoft 365 Copilot is an AI-powered assistant that can help you with various tasks, such as scheduling, note-taking, and more. It is integrated with Microsoft Teams, Word, Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, and other Microsoft 365 apps. When you prompt Copilot with a request, it can help you solve complex work tasks in one place and work more productively. Let's see it in action. Contoso's Executive Director's Assistant will use Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word to create and edit the board report. She can ask Copilot to create Contoso's annual report using her notes from OneNote on the nonprofit's performance and last week's presentation on Contoso's programs update. She can also pull any other relevant documents and images from SharePoint, which would be helpful to add to the annual report. Copilot also supports meeting preparation ahead of time, in-meeting collaboration, and post-meeting action items. Contoso's Executive Director's Assistant can draft an email to share the annual report with the executive team ahead of the meeting. And during the meeting, she can ask Microsoft 365 Copilot in Microsoft Teams to take notes and share them with all attendees with the click of a button. After the meeting, she can use Copilot to summarize key discussion points, suggest action items, and track progress on assigned tasks. Ready to get started? As you can see, using Copilot can make the many moving pieces around board meetings easier and faster. If you're a registered nonprofit with Microsoft, you can access grants and discounts to support your Copilot journey at microsoft.com/nonprofits.
Okay, as you can see now, Copilot is now embedded into your day-to-day operations. And definitely now let's look at Copilot in Business Central. Remember this, that you are chatting or you're speaking in natural language. Similarly to how I'm communicating to you, that is how you are leveraging Copilot. I'm sure most of you have tested one large language model. It could be ChatGPT, it could be Gemini, but now Copilot still gives you now that access. Similarly to now think about your pertinent task that you do on a day-to-day basis. What do you need to ask? What do you need to ask about your operations? What do you need to, which insight do you need to get? Because it will improve your productivity, help you unlock creativity, and it will help you eliminate repetitive tasks. And of course, it will help, for example, in the aspect specifically for Business Central in AI business applications, it can give you a guidance. It can help you find information into the large ERP system, help you with bank reconciliation, help you to analyze your long list of items and ledger entries, help you to be able to suggest items and key in fields real quickly, and give you a summary of your master data. Over back to you, Edwin.
Thank you so much, Sangi, for that. Really, really insightful in terms of the things that we are able to do with AI. Really exciting to see what we can do there. And I know also from a resourcing perspective for NPOs, one of the biggest things is that you're usually running on a tight budget, and AI is here to make you do actually more with less. So feel free again to reach out to us with regards to how we can be able to help you optimize those particular discussions, right? Moving along quickly, up next, we're going to have Maureen Waiderero, who is a Fabric and Power BI expert here at Zibasi. And Maureen is going to help us demonstrate how Azure and Fabric can help NGOs transform raw data into meaningful insights. Remember what we talked about, what Msagi talked about, disparate systems not communicating. We're trying to figure out how do you get that particular data working for you? How do you get insights out of that? And that is what Maureen is going to be doing for us today. So, Maureen, take the stage.
Thank you, Edwin, for that introduction. It's an honor to be here to be speaking in this webinar. So, during this session, we'll be discussing how Azure and Microsoft Fabric can transform the way we communicate and scale impact. So, I'll jump right in. Yeah. So in today's world, every decision organization make must be guided by evidence. That is specifically for the case. That is for the case for NGOs as well. So these are data-driven decisions that are powered by the stories the data tells us. So you'll find for most organizations, such as NGOs, collecting the data is easy. But however, managing it and turning it into actionable insights that truly shape the programs, the funding, and outcomes is where the challenge is. So in addition, some of the common challenges that limit the ability to make timely decisions for NGOs can be fragmented data silos. I think I'm going to be reiterating what my fellow speakers have been talking about. So you'll find that for most NGOs and other organizations as well, they have data in different business units seated different in various areas. So you'll find like finance data sitting in an ERP, some beneficiary data can be sitting in another spreadsheet. And as you will imagine, this fragmentation slows down reporting. And it brings in another challenge, which is manual time-consuming reporting. So you would imagine a data officer needing to make a report. They have to extract data from these different systems, and then cleaning that data merging it, and then doing a report. So this brings in a bit of difficulty in our reporting. You're not able to share ad hoc reports, and it can make your NGO not look as transparent as it is. So you need to give a reporting in a timely way and show these tangible results, share your impact in real time. So additionally, you get a lack of predictive capability, as Msangi was saying. So NGOs, these organizations are forced to be reactive rather than proactive. So you're scrambling to respond to crises rather than anticipating them. So, and what ideally do we want? We want operational efficiency. So we want to be able to report our insights, our impact on time, and we want a connected, resilient, and secure operating environment, as Amos had stated. Yeah, and this is where Azure comes in. So before we unlock these insights, we need a reliable and secure place to hold our data. So Azure is Microsoft's global cloud platform, and how it helps us is that it can ingest data from these different systems, from our ERPs, from other external data sources. So this means no more isolated silos. Additionally, you get security. So this data is now secure with enterprise-grade security that Azure provides. So your donor data, your beneficiary data is secure, which is mostly going to be compliant with these donors. So additionally, you get scalability without heavy costs. Whether you're an NGO running a small community project or you want to scale to other countries, you can do that at very flexibly without requiring massive capital investments. Additionally, you'll get other advanced capabilities such as Azure AI and analytics, where you can predict trends, forecast your resource needs, therefore turning your organization from being reactive to a truly proactive organization. Yeah, so what are the perks that you get as a nonprofit? So for Azure, you might be eligible for 2,000 Azure credits annually. And you also get discounted services such as reduced pricing for Azure and other platforms. You also get onboarding support. So Microsoft offers guidance, migration help, and templates tailored for non-profits. You also get access to a huge community that is also quite helpful. Yeah. So how does Microsoft Fabric come in? So think of Azure as a giant toolbox that has that has every tool that you need to run everything, especially for your data analysis workflow. So from data capture to actually showing your insights. So think of it as having different tools that you will need to actually configure them yourself or with help. It can be quite powerful, but also can be quite complex. So that is where Fabric comes in. Fabric gives you an end-to-end analytics environment without touching the raw cloud infrastructure. So for Azure, if you're doing your extraction of data from a different tool, from different platforms, you're probably going to use your Azure Data Factory. For your analytics, you're probably going to use Synapse, and then for your reporting, Power BI. And you need to actually configure these tools separately and then make sure that they are connected to have a secure environment. So Fabric gives you a very consolidated environment, and it takes away that heavy lifting of configuration. So you don't need to set up your Azure Data Factory, as I was mentioning. So Microsoft handles the scaling, the security, and the maintenance for you. So your team focuses on using insights rather than running the infrastructure. So as an NGO, you can collaborate globally. So you will have one source of truth with Fabric, with having one storage, which is our One Lake. So your global teams can be reading from the same live data. Additionally, you'll get to reduced operational costs having automated your pipelines. So you can imagine automating the processes of extraction to cleaning your data to reporting without any intervention. So you might imagine a data officer who is extracting information from different environments, merging them probably in Excel, transforming it, writing a report, sharing it in PDF. So with Fabric, all these processes can be automated. So from data capture, think of it as a field officer putting in beneficiary information, and it's directly transformed and cleaned and then presented in real time in a Power BI dashboard. So that reduces the operational costs and the overheads that would have been done ideally manually by a data officer. So, and that, as you would imagine, that transparency increases donor confidence. Additionally, you'll now be able to leverage your AI-driven analytics. So as Msango was mentioning, you'll be able to use your copilots, and also you can use other machine learning models that can help you to forecast your data. Okay, so I think I've mentioned here. So a use case here for Fabric is a submission of data from a field officer, automated cleanup and transformation, to presenting this in real time in a Power BI report that is refreshed automatically, and then getting your predictive insights by using your AI models. Your forecasting needs are going to be covered. So you're able to highlight areas where there's potential risk. So now you're able to be proactive as an organization. You're able to plan ahead. These are the forecasted resources that might be needed next quarter, next year. Yeah, so we'll go right in to checking a case study of one of the NGOs that are leveraging some of the Fabric tools, which is Power BI. So this is Kenya Wildlife Conservancy Association. So they have migrated to Microsoft Cloud. So they have now a consolidated storage, and they're able to get consolidated reporting. So we have created quite a number of reports for them. And if you'll allow me, I will be showcasing that now. So let me just share my screen. Yeah. Just give me a moment. This to load. Okay, so before we communicate impact, I think we'll start from the source of the impact. So in order to, of course, get impact, we'll start with actually getting funds in order to create this impact. So we'll start with a report on resource mobilization. So as you will imagine, for resource mobilization, it's very imperative for you to track these opportunities. So having a report such as this one for our NGOs is important, as they are able to track these opportunities in real time. So if they have a specific turnaround time for opportunities between stages, they're able to get alerts where they can now proactively follow up on these opportunities. And that can be the definitive factor that ensures that you're able to secure an opportunity. So additionally, we are able to see the amounts that are in your pipeline. What is the likelihood of acquiring these amounts? If it's high, then you're able to actually plan on your next period. Okay, so let's go for a report such as this one, State of Conservancies. So as I mentioned before, KWCA is an organization that tracks these conservancies, ensures that we are getting as much area and secure. Secure. You want to ensure that all these areas are secured. This wildlife is secure. So when in communicating impact, as you have, instead of doing it manually, this can be done immediately through these Power BI reports, and we give the end user the flexibility of actually coming in and seeing the reports themselves. So these reports can be embedded into a website where our donors, all stakeholders are able to see this for themselves. And they're able to actually see this at a point in time. So this brings in an element of transparency. So you're able to see it as at a point in time. So right now I'm seeing it as at 2025. I can change that to 2024, and I can compare this. So I'm no longer just reporting on numbers. I'm able to give insights. I'm able to show growth in my NGO. So I'm no longer just reporting that the total number of conservancies during this period is this. I'm able to compare with another reporting period, demonstrating growth in my NGO. This shows, this can also be very imperative in getting donations as an NGO, as they're able to see that indeed the work is being done. Yeah. So we're also able to allow these end users to download this for themselves. So transparency is key. Additionally, in resource management, we are able to communicate. These are the areas of need. So we have a report such as this one. So they are able to actually communicate. For this year, these are the goals that we have. This is the target budget that we have. How much have we secured? How much have we not secured? And this can be updated in real time. This kind of transparency gives confidence to your donors, gives confidence to all stakeholders. So they're able to actually see how much is remaining for me to get to these targets. And your donors can actually come and see, this is an area that I'm passionate about. I would love, and there's no donation in this area. So they can come in and give their donations, and immediately it is reflecting in that area. So as you can see, for this goal, this objective, we can see who are the donors who have contributed towards this objective for this year. So with this, with Microsoft Fabric, you get this operational efficiency. So no more at manual, time-consuming reporting. You're able to do this. You get this efficiency in real time. So now you're able to actually achieve a connected, a resilient, and a secure operating environment. So I'll give it back to Edwin.
Thank you so much, Maureen, for that particular session. What you can be able to do with Azure and Fabric. Yeah, I know our time is running out, and last but not least, I would want to introduce the one and only Mr. Gifta McCoy, who is a cybersecurity expert here at Zibasi, and he will share what are the practical tips to help NGOs protect their data, their systems, and the communities that they serve. Mr. Gift, over to you.
Well, thank you, Edwin, for the warm introduction. As he mentioned, I'm a cybersecurity consultant with a focus on the security within the Microsoft ecosystem. So now, NGOs in Africa are doing incredible life-changing work, whether it's supporting health, education, democracy, or even humanitarian relief. But alongside this important mission, there's a growing cyber threat. Microsoft's research actually shows NGOs being a highly targeted sector by nation-state attackers, and more than 60% of nonprofits worldwide have suffered a cyber attack in just the past 2 years. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think cyber criminals target NGOs less because of their limited resources, or more because of the sensitive data they hold? Okay, so the reality is it's actually more.
NGOs hold sensitive donor and beneficiary data, and they often operate in politically sensitive areas with limited resources. They become an attractive target, and here in Africa, we add extra challenges. Things like older technology, internet and power outages, and small or less equipped IT teams. So today, my goal is to share practical steps NGOs can take right now to reduce their risks and show how Microsoft's non-profit tools, many of them free or heavily discounted, can make security achievable even on a tight budget. Okay. So let's begin with identity. Most cyber attacks against NGOs start with stolen passwords. And the single best defense is multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Think of it like this. Even if an attacker steals your password, without that second factor, which is the code on your phone or even your biometrics, they can't get in. MFA or multi-factor can block over 99% of account hacks. If your NGO is on Microsoft 365, you already have this feature. Just enable it, okay? So use Entra ID security defaults to enforce MFA and block old insecure logins. And make sure only a handful of people have admin rights. That way, even if one account is compromised, the damage is contained. Next is data. In Africa, we've seen NGOs lose critical information because laptops were stolen, offices were raided, or even servers failed during power cuts. So 3 simple fixes that I would actually recommend. The first one is backups. Follow the 3-to-1 rule. Keep 3 copies of your data on 2 types of storage with 1 copy offsite. Store data in tools like OneDrive and SharePoint, which already give you secure cloud storage and also version history. And use Microsoft's free $2,000 Azure credits for secure backups. I'll actually touch on this later. Then second is encryption. Switch on BitLocker on laptops. If the device is stolen in Nairobi, Lagos, Kampala, the data will still be safe. Then access control. Share files in Teams or SharePoint instead of USB drives or email attachments. So you can control and revoke access instantly, and also reduce the possibility of any malware being transferred to your organization through either a USB drive or even an email attachment. So remember, backups plus encryption mean even if something goes wrong, your data isn't lost. So we know technology alone isn't enough. People are your first line of defense, and phishing remains the #1 attack on NGOs. So what can we do to fix this? Awareness. So we have Microsoft Defender for Office that includes attack simulation training, which you can run safe phishing tests and turn mistakes into learning opportunities. You can also use the free non-profit training resources from Microsoft and Microsoft partners such as our team. Even a short session on how to spot a suspicious links can save your organization from ransomware. Remember, your people are your best firewall, and they are also your first line of defense. And finally, be prepared for when something goes wrong. Most African NGOs do not have an incident response plan, and that's risky. It doesn't have to be complicated. Write down a checklist. Who to call if there's a breach, how to isolate an infected laptop, and how to restore from your OneDrive or Azure backup. And for NGOs in sensitive areas like governance or human rights, I recommend enrolling in Microsoft Account Guard. It's free and provides early warning if nation-state attackers target you. The key here is resilience. Having a plan plus working backups means you can recover quickly and continue your mission in the event of any disruption. Okay, then now before I go any further, I want to highlight a security philosophy that ties everything together. So zero trust. So zero trust isn't a single product or tool, it's a strategy. The idea is simple. Assume everything is a threat until proven otherwise. Every login, every file access, every device is treated as suspicious and must be verified. Now, for nonprofits, this is especially important because you're handling sensitive donor information, volunteer data, and operational details. Now, by applying zero trust through continuous verification, least privileged access, and assuming a breach could already be happening, you create a stronger foundation for keeping your mission safe. And the good news is, the best practices we've already talked about, things like MFA, backups, encryption, and incident readiness, are the building blocks of zero trust. Okay. Now, the good news is you do not need to build all this from scratch. Microsoft provides a nonprofit program that puts enterprise-grade tools in your hands, often at little or no cost. Then just to highlight a few is Microsoft 365 for nonprofits. So with this, you get secure email, OneDrive, Teams, and built-in protections. All these are through free or discounted licenses. This means your team can collaborate safely from anywhere. Now, you also get $2,000 in Azure credits every year. These credits can be used for secure backups, hosting your website, or even running Azure Sentinel to detect and respond to threats in real time. Then you also get Microsoft Defender and Enterprise Mobility and Security. So these tools protect your devices, emails, and even mobile phones. With Intune, you can remotely secure or even wipe lost devices, especially helpful for field teams working in high-risk areas. As I mentioned earlier about Account Guard for nonprofits, this is a free cybersecurity service that monitors for nation-state attacks targeting your organization. It actually covers both your Microsoft 365 accounts and personal Outlook or Hotmail accounts of staff, and even for, depending on the size of organization, even your board members. Then you also get free security assessment. In this case, Microsoft offers assessments to help you identify vulnerabilities across your endpoints, identity access, and infrastructure and data. You'll get a prioritized action plan and support from Microsoft and Microsoft partners such as us to strengthen your defenses. So now, and the last tool that I would actually also like to mention is training and pathways. Now, whether you're an IT admin or a staff member with no tech background, Microsoft provides curated trainings to help you stay safe online. So admins are able to access the security skilling hub and also the Microsoft 365 security toolkit that is available online for us. Now, while end users learn how to spot scams and work securely from home, the admin actually makes sure that everything is actually okay and safe from an infrastructure perspective. Now, these tools level the playing field, giving NGOs in Africa access to the same protections as large enterprises as well. Okay. Now, as Microsoft partners, our role is to walk alongside you on this journey. We begin with cybersecurity assessments and audits. We use tools like Microsoft Secure Score and Entra reports to give you a clear picture of where you stand, your strengths, your gaps, and risks. Now, from there, we prioritize actions. Now, not everything needs to be fixed at once. We start with quick wins like enabling MFA, securing email, and setting up backups. Then we build toward policies, device security, and even trainings. Now, we also help you unlock Microsoft nonprofit benefits, as actually Amos alluded to it earlier, which gives you free or heavily discounted licenses. You also get Azure credits and security tools. Then we also come and help you to configure them correctly. Now, that essentially means setting up Defender, using Defender for your security. We're talking about email, endpoints, you're talking about cloud as well as identity. Also using Intune to manage devices and building secure collaboration with Teams and SharePoint. Now, beyond technology, we also provide training. We can also do phishing simulations and policy development. So the whole idea is not to help you just buy tools, but build a security culture within your organization. So in short, we act as partners in building resilience. So you can focus on your mission, knowing that your people, your data, your communities are better protected. So just to quickly do a recap of what we just talked about, when you look at the essentials, so turn on multi-factor authentication, backup and encrypt your data, write down a response plan, then also adopt a zero trust strategy. Then build on that foundation with Microsoft's non-profit offerings, which are secure, affordable, and tailored to your needs. So in this case, cybersecurity is not just about protecting your IT systems. It's about safeguarding your mission, your donors, and your communities. And with a few practical steps, such as the ones that we've just mentioned today, even resource-constrained NGOs in our region can build resilience and continue making impact without any disruption. So thank you, and we look forward to working together for a more secure future. Over to you, Edwin.
Thank you very, very much, Master Gift, for that. I hope I'm audible, right? You can hear me. Awesome. I think right now we've come to the end of our webinar, and like I promised, the last segment will now be Q&A. And as I mentioned when we were starting, is that you could be able to just write in your questions using the Q&A tool, and we should be able to respond to that. So if you have any questions that are coming in, I think I've seen one that has come in with regards to what database would you recommend for a beginning NGO or a beginner? And I think that has already been addressed by Amos. But feel free to drop in any questions from that you'd have as of now. So we'll just give that about 2-3 minutes thereabout, and then we wrap this up. Again, I want to say thank you so much for making time to join this particular webinar. I know it has been very, very intense and packed, but also just to mention that this is first of many. We'll be able to do more deep dive, even after correcting as part of CBASI at 8. Our commitment is to be able to educate and elevate our NPOs within Africa to be able to make and maximize, the resources that they have. So yeah, feel free to drop in any question right now at the moment, and we'll be able to respond to that.
I think let's give it some 2 minutes in order for people to ask a few questions. Otherwise, lovely, lovely webinar. Thank you so much. I've learned so much in this session from you guys. It's been really good.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
let's give it a few seconds, and
Yeah. Let's see that. Is it the one about data storage, or am I missing that? Well, let me see. You've seen a new post.
There's one that says, what is the cost of the system?
Okay, this is all right by Alan Goze. In terms of which system, because I think we have talked about a couple of things. I don't know if you'd want to probably clarify. Right. I think there's still the question around about the database storage. What is a beginner-friendly database? And I think you're just asking to clarify. For clarification, I think Amos has mentioned, Most organizations we've seen start from using Excel worksheets, but what we'd recommend for a beginner would be Microsoft Dataverse, which will be the next level in terms of being able to execute a data platform for you to use. But this is usually dependent on the type of data that you're looking at. So I think to advise on this further, would need to have a one-on-one session, probably to see what's your use case, but would definitely recommend Dataverse as the next level of entry if you're coming just from using it, Excels and all that. That would be the best solution for us to recommend for you from a database perspective. But like I mentioned, would need a deeper dive to understand what your use case is, and then we'll be able to advise accordingly on that. So I hope that answers the question on the database that we recommend. With regards to the cost of the system, I think this is by Alan Gunze. It's on our side to determine which system you're talking about, because we talked about security, we've talked about Fabric, we've talked about Copilot and PC. So it would just be great if you could also reach out to us so that we will be able to get that data. All right. I don't know, Salome, are you seeing any more questions?
I think a few are coming through. Let me have a check. Let's pop in here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just see.
I can jump in. I've seen a couple. One on can Power Pages connect securely to internal data? Yes, actually, that's one of the core use cases for Power Pages. We've had a scenario where we created, there were multiple NPOs, non-profits, that were coming together to do some work in Somalia through the Somali Cash Consortium. And what we basically did is create, because of the submission of the reports, and they are all coming from different environments, we created using Power Pages to allow each organization to be able to submit the reports. So yes, 100%, whether it is grantees or partners or even beneficiaries, if you have a use case where beneficiaries need to submit some kind of reports, yes, that's 100% possible. In terms of the reporting capabilities, I'll just see if I can quickly highlight something. I don't know whether Edwin, Business Central has inbuilt capabilities for creating reports, from whether the Excel reports and those that we can customize. But we, especially in the case where you would want to work with external parties, auditors, or you even want to create reports that would go to your donors, if they are more of the visual side, then we would recommend you go with the Power BI because of the slicing and dicing, similar to what Maureen was showcasing. And the ability to actually have a very comprehensive storytelling on the reporting. But if you're talking about auditors who may need to go in and look at specific reports, there is a customization of the financial reporting inbuilt within Business Central, but we can also extend that capability through, you can also connect to Business Central that has very good connectivity with Excel to be able to create the various reports. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah,
I think I see
those are the ones that I picked.
Yeah, I see another one. Many nonprofits worry about unpredictable costs. What's the simplest way to keep Azure spendings under control?
Yeah, I think that's one of the key things that we assist also in managing. So the thing about Azure hosting is that it's built after usage. It's similar to how you would have your electricity bill. It's you use, And then after usage, depending on how the bandwidth of what you've used is what you get billed for. So we come in as a partner and working also with Dynamics Africa to set up a subscription that we manage for you in terms of making sure that it's secure, making sure that that whatever needs to be hosted is hosted correctly. And then one of the key things that we also assist is making sure that you'll not anticipate spikes. Some of the key use cases where we've seen huge spikes is where it's not secure, what Gift was talking about earlier, and you have a scenario where somebody hacked and you get a spiral in terms of your costs because of the usage went quite high, and that's where we come in terms of securing the environment. But besides that, also just keeping up with the management of the platform so that you do not have one day you have a bill of $200 and then in the next month it's $4,000, and that's where you work with a partner that can assist in managing of the costs. I don't know whether Salome, you can pick up the next question. I probably didn't see.
Can Azure collaborate across multiple countries where our teams operate? Okay, so you can deploy Azure. It all comes with, I recently had a question actually, and it works semi the same as Business Central. So, for example, a customer had a deployment in Kenya, but they decided to do all of their deployments rather in South Africa, and they tended to overcomplicate it. If you assign the user to the license, the customer can operate within any country. The same with BC. So as long as your user has the right credentials and the database resides within the same country, if your user resides in a different country, doesn't matter as long as they have access. It depends on where you want your data to reside. But otherwise, if you are collaborating across multiple countries, that's no issue. It all depends where you want your main data to reside. Otherwise, there's no complexity around having users across different countries. Okay. I see another one. You talked about conducting phishing tests via Microsoft Defender. Does that require any special licenses?
Okay, I can actually answer that. Yes, for you to be able to utilize the attack simulation training within Microsoft 365 Defender, you will need either a Microsoft 365 E5 license, which you can actually talk to your licensing partner. You also need Office 365 E5, and also you can also get Microsoft Defender for Office Plan 2, as well as the Microsoft 365 E5 security add-on license, which is basically the EMS E5 license. Yeah. And remember, this is per user licensing. So all users targeted by the simulation must be licensed with one of the licenses that I've just mentioned right now. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. It's really cool. Okay. Do we have any other questions? We can give it a second or two.
Then, sorry. I've seen that one for Copilot security.
Oh, there's more.
Okay.
There's so many more popping up. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have a question regarding Copilot security, particularly internal security. Can users search for other people's documents within the organization? So the simple answer is actually no. So Copilot cannot search or access other users' documents arbitrarily. It respects the current Microsoft's existing permissions model. Ideally, this means Copilot will only have access to the data that you have access to. So even before we implement Copilot from an organization perspective, we usually advise our clients, even before they do that, they need to do data governance first within the organization. Clean up their data, put the necessary permission levels, especially if you have a lot of data being stored on SharePoint. You need to know who has access to what. That way, so even if a user is using Copilot, they will only have access, or it will return results according to what permissions and level of access that they do have. Yeah.
There's a question, I think this one is for you, Msangi. Many nonprofits don't have dedicated finance teams. How easy is Business Central to adopt for grant and fund tracking? I would have
Okay,
said
they
it's
don't
very
have.
easy.
Yeah, definitely there'll be a process for where you guys will be trained on how you will be able to use dimensions into Business Central. I don't want to do a deep dive into any module as at now, but definitely Sibasi will walk you through the journey and you will be able to understand how to use the system. You won't just be let go like, okay, now this is Business Central, now plug and play and proceed. There'll be a process where you'll be trained and you'll now be able to use the system the way it's supposed to.
Brilliant, thank you. It's good.
Yeah, I saw there was a question on, I think Alan Gunza was asking about the cost of 365 Business Central. Msangi, do you want to take that as well?
Yes.
I think I also shared a note,
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
Msangi, over to
Yes,
you.
I see the comment. I think, yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. I think you can also reach
why.
out
Okay.
to if anyone in the audience,
Mm.
if you have any specific quote requests on pricing, reach out to Sibasi directly for an
Yeah.
official quote request or even an evaluation of your current environment to see whether there's room to cut down costs or if there's certain licenses that would meet your needs that they can quote you on. I think that would be the best route to follow. Sorry, back to you, Msangi.
Okay, sounds good. Answered.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But definitely they should, what Amos has given is the non-profit pricing once Microsoft has approved them as a non-profit. Do you mind giving that procedure, Salome, for them to be able to start the process if they haven't?
To start the process is actually quite simple, very simple. Start by reaching out to Sibasi. Two, they will provide you with the necessary steps and also guide you through the different requirements in order to register as a nonprofit with Microsoft. So yes, you need to first be a registered nonprofit within the country that you reside in. And then second, you still need to register with Microsoft so that you may qualify for this up to 75% discounted pricing, as well as the free licenses that you can obtain by purchasing licenses for a C-Spin direct reseller, such as Sibasi. And then afterwards, it takes up to 2 weeks, most of the time much shorter, to get approved as a nonprofit with Microsoft. Just very important, keep an eye on your junk mailbox and your inbox so that when Microsoft does reach out for additional information, you can immediately respond and wrap up the verification process. And once approved, you'll receive an email from Microsoft stating that you've been approved as a nonprofit. And then you can go ahead and purchase your discounted licenses as well as your free licenses through Sibasi Limited. Okay, that's more or less the process. But if you want in-depth guidance, I do motivate anyone to go through Sibasi so that they can give you a step-by-step guide through.
Fantastic, and thanks, Salome. There's an interesting question, I think, from Cosmos on Copilot security, where for internal security, can users search for other people's documents within the organization? If so, what measures can we take to protect information when using Copilot? So one of the main reasons why we recommend that you go with the Copilot, I think Msangi alluded to this earlier. Besides, most of us probably have used ChatGPT, Gemini, and so forth. One of the primary reasons why we recommend Copilot is that the information within the organization sits within the organization. So you can imagine if you want to analyze some data about your beneficiaries and you upload it on ChatGPT and it has sensitive information, and then ChatGPT uses that to train the model. the chances that your information, internal information, could leak is very high. So we recommend that you use Copilot within the Microsoft 365 ecosystem, because then it uses internal information. Now, specifically on the question on, can other users see your information? Yes and no. So yes, from the perspective of if a user, for example, has been added to a SharePoint environment or a SharePoint site, and they have access to the site, if they actually ask a question to Copilot, it uses the permissions that the user actually has. So if already the user has access to a document and they ask information, then it will use whatever information that user already has access to. But if the user has not been given access, and that's where now permissions management becomes very critical, and a good use case would be if you have HR related information, then you are hosting it on SharePoint or OneDrive. You put next of kin details and other payroll information in a folder, just securing that so that it's well managed. Copilot respects whatever permissions you've set up. And that's where now we come in, as the Gift was talking about, looking at how you've secured the environment, how different people have the right information to be able to work, but also you are securing information depending on who needs the particular set. That's where we come in to assist in making sure that we can look into that particular perspective. I hope, Cosmos, we've provided a very comprehensive answer to your question.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. That's really good. Okay. I don't see any other questions popping up. Okay, with that said, I think these are all the questions we have for today. If any other questions arise, we will definitely reach out to you personally, one-on-one, to address any other questions that you may have. But otherwise, feel free to contact Lavenda at Sibasi. We will be sending the recording afterwards, as well as just a thank you, my love, for joining, or sorry for those who could not unfortunately join. You will receive the recording to do a quick catch up. But yeah, looking forward to connecting with all of you further. All right. Thank you so much, Amos. Thank you, Edward.
Thank
Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Miss
All right.
Sunny.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. We can end the
Bye-bye.
Thank you.